Hello everyone, this is the part 1 of the chapter Principle of Inheritance and Variation. So, now the first term inheritance. The character that transfers from parent to offsprings is called as inheritance. The second term variation. What do you mean by variation? The difference of characters which we do see between the parents and their offsprings is called as variation. Gregor Johann Mendel, he is the father of genetics and he only gave us the law of inheritance. Mendel's law of inheritance. Now, Mendel conducted hybridization experiments on garden pea for like 7 years and he studied characters in pea plants as two opposite traits. For example, these traits were like tall or dwarf plants, or it could be like yellow or green seeds. And he also conducted cross pollination in the true breeding pea line. Now these are the contrasting traits studied by Mendel in pea plant. These are the characters and these are their contrasting traits. Now the first, stem height. The contrasting traits for stem height is tall or dwarf. For flower color it is violet or white. For flower position, it is axial or terminal. For pot shape, the contrasting trait is inflated or constricted. For pot color, it is green or yellow. For seed shape, it is round or wrinkled, and the contrasting traits for seed color is yellow or green. Inheritance of one gene. In the hybridization experiment by Mendel, he crossed two pea plants in which one was tall and the other was dwarf, and he collected the seeds as a result of this cross and he grew them to generate plants, and these grown up plants were known as the first hybrid generation, and this is also known as filial 1 progeny or the F1. Mendel found out that all the F1 progeny were tall and none of them was dwarf. He also found that F1 generation always resembled either one of the parent and the trait of the other parent was not seen. Then Mendel again crossed the F1 generation plants, and in F2 generation, out of the 4 pea plants, he saw that one plant was dwarf. Therefore, 1/4 of the F2 generation plants were dwarf and 3/4 of the F2 generation plants were tall. But either tall or dwarf plants he got, all the plants were identical to their parents and none of the plant was like in medium height. So there was no blending at either F1 or F2 stage. Mendel proposed something was stably passed unchanged from parents to the offsprings. He called it as factors, but now these factors are known as genes. Now there is something called as alleles. Alleles are slightly different form of gene. Alleles are the genes which code for a pair of contrasting characters. Now this is the diagrammatic representation of monohybrid cross given by Mendel. In the below diagram you can see that the capital T denotes the tall plant while the small t denotes the dwarf plant. So these are the parents capital T and small t. As the capital T denotes the tall plant, this is tall pea plant, and as the small t denotes the dwarf plant, it is dwarf pea plant. As you can see that both capital T and capital T are there, this is homozygous tall pea plant. Homozygous means similar. Therefore, this is homozygous tall pea plant and this is homozygous dwarf pea plant. So from this parent 1 we get the gamete capital T, and from this parent 2 we get the gamete small t. After we cross them we get filial 1 as capital T and small t. This is heterozygous tall pea plant. Heterozygous means dissimilar gametes. We can see here that this is capital T and this is small t. Therefore this is heterozygous tall. After this, the filial one is again crossed with its same type. So therefore, we cross capital T small t into again capital T and small t. So we obtain the filial 2. We can see that in filial 2, out of 4, 3 were tall and 1 was dwarf. Now there is something called as phenotypic and genotypic ratio. Genotypic ratio is related to the genes while phenotypic ratio is something what we can see. So if we see the phenotypic ratio, we can clearly see that 3 plants were tall, therefore here is 3, and 1 plant was dwarf, therefore here is 1. Therefore the phenotypic ratio is 3:1. 3 is for tall plants, 1 is for dwarf plants. And the genotypic ratio, we can see that one plant was homozygous. Homozygous means similar. So homozygous tall, 2 were heterozygous tall, and 1 was homozygous dwarf. Therefore, the genotypic ratio is 1 is to 2 is to 1. Now, as Mendel found the phenotype of the F1 generation, he stated that one factor is dominant and the other is recessive. So, in the previous diagrammatic representation, also we saw that the tall plant was dominant and the dwarf plant was recessive. In the previous diagram, also we saw that 1/4 of the plants were homozygous tall, half were heterozygous tall, and 1/4 of the plants were homozygous dwarf. So, the ratio of homozygous tall is to heterozygous tall is to homozygous dwarf is 1/4 is to half is to 1/4. Now, there is something called as test cross. Test cross is crossing of an F1 hybrid with its recessive parent, and the test cross is used to find the genotype of the plant. Based on the observation on monohybrid cross, Mendel proposed two general rules. These rules are now known as principles or law of inheritance, in which the first law is the law of dominance and the second law is law of segregation. So the first law of dominance, states that the characters are controlled by factors. These factors are now known as genes, and the factors are always in pairs. In a dissimilar pair of factors, we can see that the one member is dominant while the other member is recessive. Now the second law, which is law of segregation. In this, we can see that alleles do not show any blending, and both the characters are seen in F2 generation and only one character is seen in the F1 generation. In the diagrammatic representation also, we saw that in the F1 stage we only got a tall pea plant, but in F2 stage we saw that there were 3 tall plants but one was dwarf. So both the characters were seen in the F2 stage while only one, which is the tall, was seen in the F1 stage. Now the parents have two alleles or factors, but out of these two, only one is passed on to the progeny. In the homozygous parents, all the gametes will be similar, while in the heterozygous parent, one parent produces two kind of gamete, each having one allele in equal proportion. Hello everyone, this is the part 2 of the chapter Principle of Inheritance and Variation. So the first topic is incomplete dominance. In incomplete dominance, we can see that the F1 generation does not resemble either of the two parents, but the F1 generation is always between the two parents. As we can see here, this is the parental generation, in which this is the red flower and this is the white flower. The genotype of the red flower is capital RR and the genotype of the white flower is small rr. The gamete which we get from the red flower is capital R and from the white flower is small r. When we cross them, we get the F1 generation, which is pink color flower, which has the genotype capital R and small r. It is incomplete dominance as the F1 generation is in between both the parents. When we cross this flower, we get the F2 generation, in which we get one red flower, one white flower, and two pink flower. As we have known, the monohybrid cross genotypic ratio, which is 1 is to 2 is to 1, the genotypic ratio of incomplete dominance is also same as the monohybrid cross, which is 1 is to 2 is to 1. But the phenotypic ratio of monohybrid cross and incomplete dominance do differ, because in monohybrid cross the phenotypic ratio was 3 is to 1, but in incomplete dominance the phenotypic ratio is 1 is to 2 is to 1, in which one red flower, two pink flower, and one white flower. This is another example of incomplete dominance. In this, start synthesis in pea seeds is controlled by one gene, which has two alleles, capital B and small b. When the genotype is capital BB, then large starch grains are produced, and when the genotype is small bb, then small starch grains are produced. After maturation, the genotype capital BB seeds will be round, and after maturation, the genotype small bb seeds will be wrinkled. There is also a heterozygous condition which is capital B and small b, then round seeds will be produced. And this heterozygous seeds, which is capital B and small b, they will produce intermediate size starch grains. As this intermediate size is between large and small, this is an example of incomplete dominance. Here is the explanation of the concept of dominance. As we know that gene contains information, and in diploid organisms there are two copies of each gene, that is as a pair of alleles. Now, when two alleles are identical, they are known as homozygous alleles, and when two alleles are not identical, they are known as heterozygous alleles. In this heterozygous alleles condition, one of them is different due to some changes which modifies the information of that allele. For example, there is a gene which contains information for producing enzymes, and there are heterozygous allele. The first one, which is the normal allele, will produce a normal enzyme which is needed for transformation of substrate S. Now the second allele, which is the modified allele, it has three possibilities. The first possibility is when a modified allele will produce a normal or a less efficient enzyme. Now this modified allele is similar to unmodified only because it will produce a normal or a less efficient enzyme, and it also has a same phenotype which will result in transformation of substrate S. In the second and third possibility, the modified allele will produce a non-functional enzyme and the modified allele will produce no enzyme. In both of these, the phenotype may be affected. The unmodified allele, which was the normal allele, the first allele which we saw, it is dominant, and these modified alleles are recessive. Now this is the topic of codominance. In dominance, we have seen that the F1 generation resembles either one of the two parents. In incomplete dominance, the F1 generation was in between of the two parents. But in codominance, we can see that the F1 generation resembles both the parents, and the example of codominance is ABO blood grouping in human beings. ABO blood groups are controlled by the gene I, and this gene I has three alleles, which is IA, IB, and small letter I. The IA and IB alleles produce slightly different forms of sugar, and the small letter I allele produce no sugar. As humans are diploid, they will have two alleles out of these three, and IA and IB alleles are dominant over the allele small letter I. Now in this table, we can see that when allele from parent 1 is IA and from parent 2 is IA, the genotype of the offspring will be IA and IA, and the blood type will be A. When allele from parent 1 will be IA and allele from the parent 2 is IB, the genotype of the child will be IA, IB, and the blood type will be AB. This is codominance, as the offspring will resemble both the parents. Now in this, when allele from parent 1 is IA and from parent 2 is I, then the genotype of the child will be IA and small letter I, and the blood type will be A, because IA is dominant over small letter I. When allele from parent 1 is IB and from parent 2 is IA, then the genotype will be IA and IB, and the blood type is AB. As this is codominance, this resembles both the parents. Now in this, when allele from parent 1 is IB and from parent 2 is IB, the genotype will be IB, IB, and the blood type will be B. When the allele from parent 1 is IB and allele from parent 2 is I, the genotype of the offspring will be IB and small letter I, and the blood type will be B, as the allele IB is dominant over small letter I. When the allele from parent 1 is small letter I and from parent 2 is small letter I, then the genotype will be small ii, and the blood type of the offspring will be O. Now, the next topic is inheritance of two genes, and it is given by Mendel, in which he crossed two characters in a pea plant. And this is the diagrammatic representation of dihybrid cross. You can see here, this is the parental generation which has round yellow seed, and wrinkled green seed. The genotype of the round yellow seed is capital RR and capital YY, and the genotype of the wrinkled green seed is small rr and small yy. The gametes which we get from round yellow seed is capital RY, and the gametes which we get from wrinkled green seed is small ry. When we cross them, we get a hybrid round yellow seed which has a genotype capital R small r and capital Y small y. After selfing, we do get a F2 generation, and the phenotypic ratio of it is, we can see in this F2 generation that there are 9 round yellow seed, 9 round yellow seed, there are 3 round green seeds, there are 3 wrinkled yellow seeds, and there is only one wrinkled green seed. So therefore the phenotypic ratio of the dihybrid cross is 9 is to 3 is to 3 is to 1. Next topic is law of independent assortment, and this law states that when two pairs of traits are combined in a hybrid, segregation of one pair of characters is independent of the other pair of characters. For example, in a hybrid plant having the genotype capital R small r capital Y small y, now as we know that one gene has two alleles, so this is capital R and small r. So 50% of the gamete have gene capital R, and other 50% of the gamete will have the gene small r, and this segregation is independent of the segregation of 50% capital Y and 50% small y. This capital R is independent of the segregation of capital Y and small y, and the small r is independent of the segregation of capital Y and small y. Therefore, capital RY, capital R small y, small r capital Y, small y each have the frequency of 25% or 1/4 of the total gametes produced. Hello everyone, this is the part 3 of the chapter Principle of Inheritance and Variation. So the first topic is polygenic inheritance. Polygenic inheritance, it is the inheritance in which some traits are controlled by 3 or more genes, which is multiple genes. And the example of polygenic inheritance is human skin color and human height. As we can see that there are not only two skin colors, there are different type of skin colors. Therefore it is an example of polygenic inheritance. Polygenic inheritance also takes into account the influence of environment. So here is the example of human skin color. For example, three genes capital A, B and C, they are dominant and the person will have a dark skin, and another three genes small a, b and c, they are recessive and the person will have the light skin. If the genotype of the person is capital A, B, B and CC, then the person will have the darkest skin color, and if the genotype of the person is small a, B, B and CC, the person will have the lightest skin color. If there is a genotype in a person with 3 dominant alleles plus 3 recessive alleles, the person will have intermediate skin color. So this is the example of polygenic inheritance. Now the next topic is pleiotropy. When a single gene exhibits multiple phenotypic expression, such a gene is known as pleiotropic gene. In most cases, mechanism of pleiotropy is the effect of a gene on metabolic pathways which contributes towards different phenotypes. Example of pleiotropy is starch synthesis in P, phenylketonuria and sickle cell anemia. Phenylketonuria and sickle cell anemia are genetic diseases in which the mutant gene exhibits many phenotypic effects, and phenylketonuria results in mental retardation, reduction in hair and skin pigmentation. So the next topic is sex determination. In this, Henking traced a specific nuclear structure through spermatogenesis in few insects, and he also observed that 50% of the sperms received the structure after spermatogenesis and 50% of the sperms did not receive it. So Henking called it as X body. Other scientists found out that this X body is actually a chromosome and they named it as X chromosome. Large number of insects sex determination is of X0 type. That is, all eggs will bear an additional X chromosome beside their other chromosome, which is the autosome. Sperms may either bear X chromosome or may did not bear X chromosome, and eggs fertilized by sperms having X chromosome will become female, while eggs fertilized by sperms not having X chromosome will become male. As X chromosome is involved in sex determination, it was designated to be sex chromosome, and all other remaining chromosomes are known as autosomes. In grasshopper also we can see the X0 type of sex determination, in which the male will have one X chromosome beside the autosome and the female will have a pair of X chromosome. Now, the second type of sex determination is the XY type. It is seen in human beings and in Drosophila. In this, the male and female will have the same number of chromosomes and autosomes, and male will have X chromosome and a smaller Y chromosome, and female will have a pair of X chromosome. Therefore, male will have autosomes plus XY and female will have autosomes plus XX. This same type of sex determination is seen in Drosophila. In both X0 and XY, male produce two different types of gametes, that is, either with or without X chromosome, or some with X chromosome and Y chromosome. So in this, as the male is producing two different type of gametes, it is known as male heterogamety. In birds, there is a different type of sex determination. In this, the male and the female will have the same number of chromosomes, but two different types of gametes are produced by the female. Therefore, it is known as female heterogamety. In this, the female bird will have X and Y chromosome, and the male bird will have a pair of X chromosome beside the autosome.